Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, our Impact Wrestling fam? Welcome to episode 118 of the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Jeff, and alongside me again is the Angelina love to my winter. It's Lucha, everybody. What's going on, Lucha? Try to sell it.
I tried so hard.
It's all right. It is a blizzard here, keeping it punny, man. But
you know what I'm saying?
We have a lot to talk about. I always say on a weekly basis, but this was 2 weeks of episodes that we got or not 2 weeks of episodes, two episodes in this week.
How long has it been, Jeff?
I don't know, man. Too long. But we're going to get through it. We're going to have a good time. Hopefully the chat lights up as usual, guys. And just like last week, thank you for joining us, by the way. Numbers are up. Appreciate that, guys. 343 on subs. Almost to our 350 goal for Bound for Glory.
About 350.
And Twitch is up. And Twitter, balance it back and forth, but help us out there. Trying to get to that 4 grand marker. But yeah, man, we have Impact on Access TV that will brush over really quick, give you your guys' results from the polls and then our rating as well. Talk a little bit about the important pieces from that, go into power rankings, and then, of course, Overdrive. So if you saw last week, as I was saying, this is kind of an unplugged, if you will, even though we're very much plugged in. Episode, we're just kind of talking, two dudes talking wrestling. In this case, Impact and Overdrive. Lucha, what are you most excited to hit tonight?
First off, I can confirm that we may be unplugged, but we are plugged in. My mic's good. We had a scare. Everything's Gucci.
True.
Dog, the ending to both Impact
right.
and Overdrive.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
They both had me with the...
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we talked about it off air just slightly. We try to save as much as possible, but it's hard to not just say, everything might not be exactly how if you gave us the pen and the paper, we would have booked things. But where we're at right now is just like, all right, cool. We're good. We're ready to talk about it. Some head scratchers in a good way, and some stuff that's actually, debatable, spark some interest, spark some talking points. And some hot topics, man. So really cool stuff, but we're going to go really deep into Overdrive, match by match, segment by segment, and talk about that because I think there's a lot to dive into. But of course, we want to hit all of our shows. Thank you once again for watching live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TNAIWChannel. Or live, no, not live, but on YouTube, live premiere, or anywhere in between after that. Audio, all the jazz, man. Thanks for checking us out. We appreciate it. One fan at a time, one friend at a time. Same goes for Impact Wrestling. And the same goes for the rest of this channel. We got the guys killing it on Talking Bloody Nonsense every week. Craig and Nixon still doing their thing, as well as giving you guys almost weekly chats, TBN chats. Last they had Zach Zodiac. AEW appearing Zach Zodiac, by the way. Shout out to him. That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
So you got that. Leon Slater was the last one. There's Datila. Shout out, speak of that, great segue. GoGoPowerRankings every Tuesday. I think we only have 2 this week, Lucha. But every Tuesday, Datila and Bert, and that's going to be expanding and being really something we dig our heels down into. I don't know. Is that what people say? But all the love to Datila and the Power Rankings crew. We're going to get into Power Rankings in just a second, but you can check them out every Tuesday. Impact Slam Zone. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Check him out as well. And that's another thing, man. I haven't said it in a long time, but I mean it. And I'm not going to go list everybody because there's tons out there. Just Google it. If you don't like what we have to say, you don't like our voice, you don't like whatever bullshit we're putting out there, that is fine. As long as it's one fan at a time, one friend at a time for Impact Wrestling. Check out all the content creators out there that make Impact Wrestling content, man. This is a community that we're trying to build. And speaking of community and... yeah, I don't know. LOL TNAIW will return this Tuesday as well, 8 p.m. I had a little bit of a, the audio's been iffy to begin with, but this one I couldn't put you guys through. So it gives us another reason to do the Battle Royal over. But this week is IPWF, I was going to say reunion, IPWF review Lucha and I watching it back for the first time, but Johnny watching it for the first time, period. So get you ready for the next IPWF.
Yeah,
Check it
I
out.
had to get ready for WrestleCade this weekend. And, I'm so ready for WrestleCade. It's not even funny.
There's some gems.
I plan on spending a lot of money. Dog, we got Speedball versus Dax Harwood. Like,
What an
that's gonna
interesting-
be crazy.
Yeah.
Taya versus Masha. That's gonna be insane.
Nope.
We're getting a rematch for the tag titles at WrestleCade on Saturday.
Who's that?
Heath and Rhino versus the Major Players.
He's talking nonsense.
Shout out to Heath for that. That's cool. Yeah.
Nonsense.
Talking nonsense. Yeah, the WrestleCade's looking good, man. And IPWF once again, and that's something we were pleasantly surprised by a little bit going back and watching as well. Is it's something unique that Impact does on a Thanksgiving that, look, it's usually around when it airs, and there's a reason. People are generally tuned out or doing something else, and fun content you can always go back and watch. Or if you happen to miss it, you're not sleeping on a great episode, and I won't say great episode of Impact, but you're not sleeping on a continuous episodic episode of Impact Wrestling, right? If you miss it, but it's a good time, and it's also a refreshing thing for these talents to be seen in a different light, man. And it's something that Impact offers out and different, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about Impact on XTV this week. You guys graded it with a 58% saying A as far as the episode. I'm telling you, I thought it was it's hard to argue that. There were things, but we want to keep it light here, Lucha, but man, what's the thing that stuck out the most to you?
I mean, like I said, as far as what I was excited to talk about, the endings to both shows. That Double Jeopardy match was insanity. Not sanity, insanity.
Right.
Trademark reason. Yeah. But it was crazy, and how it started off with VBD attacking Sammy. During his entrance, go ahead and cut him open before, to get him that advantage. I love that as a heel, personally. So that was beautiful. But that to then not be enough.
Yeah.
And Sammy still gets the dub.
Storytelling.
And then the story of why the hell was Diener, Big Con, and Alan Angels just standing over him looking real disappointed, like with the Principal Skinner. Pathetic.
Pathetic. How dare you? Yeah, and Impact Slam Zone talking to there, Eric, losing to Sammy. Do you guys think Eric leaving Impact after VBD left him in the ring? I don't think it's that. I think there's a different play here, and I know it's part of us is and I agree with you. I think that's the big story coming out of there. I thought the way they're presenting Masha. I know there's some, and we're not going to get to the comments, guys. I appreciate all yours, and we'll go through everybody who was gracious enough to give us one. But I like the layers being added to Masha, and we'll get to her in a little bit. And I also like the VBD stuff because we thought it was going one way. We were kind of disappointed, even though we love VBD and the brand of it. But we were kind of disappointed because we want our Team Canada. That's the NLB, right? And I think to get rid of VBD would be a mistake because it's an entertaining part of the show. So, as Io's saying in there, I think it's time to look for a new leader. Is that Diener? I don't know.
I think it is.
You think it is?
I honestly think it is. Because, I mean, Diener, as far as I don't think he's going to be, especially with this upgrade to the roster, he doesn't need to be in the ring, as much. So every time he's in the ring, he's always not saying a liability, but he's the one who takes the L's more often than not. But as a mind, he's been in the game for a while. Hell, Eric Young brought him in, So my man's been here for a minute. And he's been wrestling for a minute, so he's got the mind to where he could take the step back and just run the puppets. It's like during that whole initiation video, Eric Young was the designer of everything, but who was the one who was actually going out here getting in the mud?
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm with you, but I look at it from a different perspective in the sense of, I think if you follow the breadcrumbs between the Good Brothers and a few other people, really putting Diener over as someone who's very underrated in the ring. And with the people, what's up, Millard, entering the chat here. I think there's a sentiment with a lot of people leaving as well, or people that, I won't say a lot, because they do bring people in or bring them, bring people up. But in this case, I think it's a moment where they're going to try to bring Diener up. I don't know if there's a new leader. I still think Macklin and Masha would be phenomenal as a two-headed leader of VBD. But I think this might be a time where they put the rocket to Diener. In what capacity, I don't know. Do I think, I like Diener and I like his work. Do I see him as the guy of this? No, but I think he's definitely a nice 1B. He's all, you know what I mean? Like, he's a great, I know you said, I don't want to say henchman, the guy, I don't want him to take all the L's, but I think
he's not the centerpiece, but he can be the right-hand man.
Correct. And maybe they prove us wrong. There's a lot of them proving us wrong lately, but I would like to see them add to this group. I wouldn't mind seeing, Josh, now that he needs some backup, Bailey, who's in kind of a rut, Eric Young, who might get kicked out of his all group, all fine Canadian men. Maybe Ty is kicked out of hers soon. If that, I don't know. There's options. There's ability, but we're still on a hashtag Team Canada kick here at the TNAIW fans.
We got this dude Lance Storm who had his own version of Team Canada. Right. Just chilling in the back, just working on the show.
If I could be serious for a moment, yeah.
From Calgary,
Alberta,
Canada.
Good times. Lucha, your thought as far as a whole impact on Access TV? A is where you're going. B, where you at?
I'm pretty sure that's where I voted on was A, just based off of that main event alone and how it left me on that one cliffhanger, but at the same time getting me excited for the show the next day that's not connected to that story. Like, we didn't get much of VBD on Overdrive. So we got that. We're still dangling off the cliff.
Yeah.
But there's a good song on the radio called Overdrive. So, before we figure out what's going on, let's listen to this song real quick.
Yeah, as I was trying to articulate poorly earlier, it's a lot of content in a 2-day span when you have Thursday, Friday things. But the way they booked both of these, it just, I want more. And that's the first time in a long time that I feel like, I was like, damn, yes, it's a lot, and there was a lot of wrestling. If you watch a lot of wrestling over this weekend, I get it. But it's just an Impact guy. I was hyped to see what's next. And I thought they've done a good job at that. But speaking of that, we mentioned Datila up there again. Show her love. A lot going on in the Power Rangers world. But let's check out the results of not only Impact on Access TV, but Overdrive, which we will talk about right after this. So let's check out GoGoPowerRankings.
Oh, shit.
Number 10, Tide Motor City Machine Guns and Black Taurus. Number 9, Masha Slamovich. Number 8, Frankie Kazarian. Number 7, Tag Team Champions Heath and Rhino. Number 6, Hardcore Country Mickey James. Number 5, Tag Team Champions The Death Dolls. 4, X Division Champion Trey Miguel. Number 3, Hard to Kill Bully Ray. Number 2, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 1, World Champion Josh Alexander.
All right, your thoughts on that. My initial reaction is something we were just wrapping up. I thought Death Dolls and Heath and Rhino, even though I like the Death Dolls a little bit more in popularity wise, or I feel the fandom does. I just thought the win of the talent they beat was a little different. I get your point about the shenanigans, but your thoughts, initial thoughts, including the tie. We haven't had a tie in a long time.
Yeah, as far as the tie goes, I saw it and it kind of sat for me for a little bit. I'm cool with that because you have to give Taurus has to get some love based off of qualifying. He had the advantage of being the last match. He pretty much pulled the 2-1.
Yep.
So I mean, had he won the belt, if someone would have voted Tarus won, I wouldn't have been mad. Based off of the fact that he had that kind of double stack. Like you get 2 wins in 2 days. Like that's
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I get that.
In context of his
I'm
trajectory, which was the tournament for the belt.
I'm forgetting
So
that
had
there's
he-
2 days in a row again. I don't know. That makes
it's
sense.
good.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get that. That makes that's what one of the great things, and we won't go too crazy on this because obviously there's a show Tuesdays, Go Power Rankings, but the point Lucha makes is one that is different than the way obviously I I voted, but once again doesn't make it wrong. What's really cool about this is that it's our own little Nielsen ratings. Everyone has the different point of view. Everyone looks at it a different way. Some people forget that there's 2 shows in 1 week. But the point is that it's kind of a sample size of everything. And I thought, for all intents and purposes, even with a tie, it was, it was a good top 10. It was a good top 10.
But this is kind of crazy coming from me.
Yeah.
Seeing that he didn't make the 10 and I put him on my 10. Is there no belief in Joe Hendry?
I think once again, and your point
Did
is
he
that
hit like 11?
he was tied with Swan for 12th technically, so 12th and 13th. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, but the point is that every vote matters. Every vote counts. Make sure you go at Burt Macklin 11 or at TNAIWChannel. Hit up Io or Burt or anyone else that wants to help us out on the Twitter land. Let us know. We're always looking for more help. But hit us up. You get in there. You put your vote in. You can talk to everyone. You don't have to talk to anyone. It's your choice. But you just put a top 10 in there. And then you can see your results literally at the end of the week because they do matter. They really do. 1 point separated 4 people, so that's pretty crazy. Crazy. But let's get into the Overdrive. Let's get into that show. We start off with the long FBI warning, which is a TNA staple. The long FBI warning. I always love that.
I liked how there was like a red background with it this time. Like, I don't remember there always being like a background to it. I always remember just being black screen, FBI warning, white letters.
It wasn't?
But there's like a red little background with it too.
Damn, putting our tax money to work, FBI. Good job. No, I'm colorblind, so you could tell me it was.
Shout out to the full-blooded Italian.
Nunzio, yeah, Big Sally.
Guido.
That Marriott, yeah. Who we missing? Meritato? Big
fucking
Sal?
Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers. There's a good one. Tracy Smothers. And Tony Mamaluke. That's another one.
Yeah.
So we get the intro package, which the packages have been top notch, and this was no different. Oh wait, I'm jumping around. We got to get to pre-show first, or pre-show. Which these 2 matches being on the pre-show, pre-show is such a demeaning term. I feel like. But this is not any. These matches deserve to be on the card. I believe so. But X Scramble.
You put them on the card. What are you taking off the card?
Oh no! I'm not saying that there's a gripe in the fact of Impact messed up. These should be on the main event. I'm just saying that.
I'm saying for period. Like for anyone who says that. Like.
Oh yeah, no. There's no answer to that. This was a 9 top to bottom stacked card that if you're on this day in general on Impact, Joe Hendry wasn't even on there, and everyone's hyped about Joe. You know what I mean? So, like this was a stacked day, and this one started off with a stacked match. X Scramble here, Rich Swann, another person that should have two wins in a week here, but not getting the love. Very close, but he's beaten Googer, Kenny King here, Hotch, Bailey, and I'm missing someone. I feel like because I think there were 6, right? There wasn't 5, or was there 6? Someone help me out. Come on, where's Critical Sting when you need him, right?
Right.
Let's go get Clutch. Thank you to the chat for lighting up, by the way, and a love to Datila again, guys. I see you guys shouting out there. That's awesome. But this is someone that none of us got right in our predictions, and it's hard. It was a 1 in 6. I'm pretty sure it was a 1 in 6. I know I'm missing somebody, or maybe I'm wrong, which is probable. But either way, Rich Swann picking up another win here, setting him, which was an X division.
Kenny King in it?
Yeah, we said Kenny. We got
You
Kenny
did?
King, Gujar, Rich Swann, Hotch, and Bailey.
Kenny King, Gujar, Rich Swann, Hodge, Bailey.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know. Yay, Millard coming in there at the same time. Good job there. Okay, so Rich Swann picks up the win. X Division, interesting. They've been pushing from the world. This is sets them, into the X Division ranks. Thought it was a good little match to start off the thing. Little sounds demeaning. I don't mean it to be, but I just mean it's a good for something that came out of nothing. This is a good way to start the show with some story going in there. Still, Kenny kind of just letting Rich have it, so to speak. Thoughts on that?
Crazy.
Yeah, right.
That part was crazy. I do have a bold prediction. Give it a month and a half, maybe even 2 at max. Jason Hotch is going to be on the top. Going to be in the top 10 because I was very impressed by his performance in this scramble. He kind of showed out for me.
He sticks out.
So I feel like he's more than an also starring ass motherfucker that's just in the match just to be the guy to get beat up on. Like,
but this is one of the great things that they're doing right now. And it took a while to get here because where are the gut check guys? Where are the gut check guys? Okay, we get them in here with no storyline. Well, why don't they have a storyline? Why don't they have a storyline? Well, let's get introduced to them, and then we'll start raising them slowly. And look at Hotch here, kind of sticking out, getting these little chances. Next will be Shogun and Jack Price, hopefully. But I thought this is awesome. He does look like he has a bright future here, man. Also, a follower of us on Twitter, so got to be a good dude.
Shout out Jason Hotch.
None of us getting it right here. I thought Kenny King, just to continue that. I also predicted, to spoiler jumping ahead, that I thought Taurus would win, so I thought it'd be a first loss, to the new champion. But this goes to Swann, so this sets up an interesting match. We'll save that until we get to the X Division, championship match. But next up was a number 1 contenders match for the tag team titles, and this one I got right. Myself and Craig got this one right. And the reason for me was, and there was a little spoiler that and I don't know if it's a spoiler, but Ace went on an interview and said the next day they were literally getting in a plane and going to Japan. And I said, not my number 1 contenders. So to me, it told me that they gave them the win. They've been giving them the momentum. They lose here to a obviously New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions, 2-time Impact Champions. So that it doesn't a loss. And then they give them that interview later that we'll get to. So it made Bullet Club still look good here. And Motor City gets to face off against Heath and Rhino and Kentucky, I think.
I must be high all the time because, I swear I didn't know that it was a number 1 contenders match until the match started.
Slipped it in there. Maybe graphics, I think I noticed.
On TV or something. I swear, because when I heard number 1 contenders match, I was like Jim Ross at WrestleMania 17 when they found out it was a no DQ match. He's like, what?
Oh man, I see. Real quick, I see IO saying talking about folks complaining about Rich Swann's booking lately. You
mean the guy that just got 2 dubs in 2 days? Yeah, okay.
yeah. I think they were trying to, after the Willie leaving thing, they had to reboost him from a tag division, so they gave him the DM run. They moved him up. They've been having him with Josh talking about wins. I think they're just reboosting him. We also got to remember, he's a guy, and I love Rich Swann. I say this all the time. There's no one could touch him bell to bell. A lot of people can't touch him bell to bell. Let's be fair. And he's always entertaining. Music hits, you're in for a show. It's good shit. At the same time, when he was world champion, he was going against Kenny Omega. There were a lot of fans, including myself, who were just, this isn't the world champion. And that's nothing against Rich. It just looked apples and oranges at that time. Do I think he's a great talent? Hell yeah, I think he's a great talent. Do I want him to work anywhere else? Fuck no, I don't want him to work anywhere else. And he could definitely touch world title again someday. But right now, you got Josh going. What do? You got to keep him relevant. You got to keep him winning. And as Lucha said, he won twice this week. So I get it. It doesn't have any direction in a way besides picking up dubs. And if that's what wrestling's about, that's what it's about. But he's also a guy, he doesn't have a shtick. There's no character. There's nothing easy just to throw him into. So just picking up wins and being great bell to bell makes Rich rich. So could they do more? Sure, but I just.
And I mean, like, and you think about it, every time there's like a multi-man scramble matches, or any like type of showcase match or a match with stakes, he's in there.
Yeah, he's a utility player.
He's always in the mix. He's that dude. He's the guy that's chilling at number 3 while 1 and 2 are fighting for the championship game. It's like, just because you're number 3,
Yeah. Look,
he's always there.
He is, and he's got the talent, and he reminds me, and I don't mean this in a comparable, like, oh, they're the same, but it was that AJ, where AJ kind of floated around each division. There was no question of his talent. There was question of his promo, which Rich is hit or miss sometimes, let's be fair. But still an exciting talent that we all can't deny the stardom that is there. And that's the same with Rich. It's just going to take a little bit of time, because Rich is one of those people that just needs to put his foot's always in the door. It's just a matter of waiting when someone else exits, so then he can slide in there. That's all it is. Rich is an impact dude. He's a damn good talent. I get the gripe, but at the same time, who you taking out of a picture? Because Arian's now just leaving it. Bully slips into that. Bully eventually will leave. And I'm not in a rush for that, but eventually he will. And then we could talk.
Especially not after.
Yeah, and then we could talk. But I'm talking X Division, DMs. Rich is just a guy who can go out there and, just like Kenny King I said last week, can just fill a segment. And that's not a negative whatsoever. It means that it's on lock when you put Rich there. So, maybe they take advantage of that. Maybe they're playing with, house cards, or house money, but... I'm not nervous on Rich at all. But let's keep moving on. We talked about Motor City, so obviously they're getting their match in Kentucky. Major players, it felt like they could have, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but the tag team title picture, especially after Impact on Access TV with that 4, I know you sent me the taglines thing, by the way. They're just stepping it up. They're stepping it up. So
Love the TNA.
Yeah, and did you feel, obviously, as a Bullet Club, I'll say it because I'm a Bullet Club mark as well, we could say that, as a Bullet Club guy, a mark, were you offended by the loss here? Did it really? No, right? Okay. And I think the interview really helped edge off anything for me. If I had any little dusty part of it, was like, they had all these wins in a row since Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They've always been,
well...
They've been I guess, I say there's nothing wrong with being number 3 when there's 1 and 2, but like at the same sense, the Machine Guns have always been that number 3 when there's 1 and 2. It's like right when they're getting ready to go, it's like nope.
And bro, that dates back to a very long time. I mean, of Motor City always not get. I mean, look at, they are 2-time, and I had to check myself, 2-time tag team champions, and one of them's recent.
Yeah.
They were a 1-time in their whole run in TNA. They never were given that ball too much. And, some of it's backstage, some of it's whatever it was. But
and it comes to like 3 years after they started teaming.
They're always number 3.
Shit, they both held the X belt as a tag team before they had even won the tag title.
That's right. It's crazy. History. But not, with all due respect, we are now on the main card. And this is where I was talking. The intro for this was just phenomenal as usual, man. Giving all the TNA feels, which not necessarily a bad thing. People chant TNA in different places now. So I think it's a viable brand, as we talked about the last episode, Lucha.
I swear AEW fans watch this because they saw I said start chanting TNA and they started chanting TNA.
Bro, it's so much better than This Is Impact. It's so much. It's so wordy.
God,
it's so wordy. I love you all, and I love
it's so
every.
syllable-y.
But come on, it's so syllably. It's all silly. Jesus Christ. But we start with the tables match, man, and there's tables everywhere. There's tables everywhere. Love the table spots without being. I love when they do that, man. And at the very beginning, I saw the tables and I was like, damn, I wish they would do a best of 5 tables. Like, whoever gets the best of 5 in the match. But they thought of ways to make sure there were more tables broken and used without just being put someone. And obviously, we were treated to who else do you want in a tables match but Bully Ray? And, they delivered. I thought this was a damn good way to start it. They bookended us with a damn main event. Moose, by the way, is an effing star. I mean, we all know that, but he's a mood changer. You said that, I think, off air, but same with Bully. This just felt TNA in the good way.
Shout out to Moose trying to hit that step up joint and then getting caught into the bully cutter.
Oh, that was good shit. That was a crowd on their feet moment. Yeah, it was a good match, man.
That's TNA.
It felt very much that. But also on Impact on NXT, Bully mentioned that he was like, "Oh, it's good to see." He's like, "Not many of us still around," in the locker room when he's talking to Kaz.
That blew my mind.
Interesting note here. Interesting note with that. But I thought it was this was really cool, man. I don't know what's up with Moose. I don't want to speculate. I don't know when his contract runs up, but he was off for a little bit. It was a little bit of injury or something like that. I know he's a special event, but the last two he's lost. Maybe he's just putting people over. Maybe he doesn't need the dubs. Let's be honest here. But at the same time, I hope he's not doing favors on the way out. So we'll see. Just something to keep our eye on. I don't know when his thing is. Not to sound the alarms, but
just to be the guy to keep people calm. Like, Moose has been around for a while now. You know what I'm saying? He's done a good amount. You know what I'm saying? And then just it's about the fact of there's moving parts as far as new stars heading into the new year.
Yeah.
To where sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do the job, and ain't nothing wrong.
That's fair, and it's not about of the booking. He does not look weak in these losses. It was Ace Austin, and he looked the top there, and he had Bully's number. I don't think it's that.
As far as them amounting up, it's don't think that and think, oh, he's doing jobs on the way out. Like, no, he could just it's time to do it.
I just say, I agree. I just say check the dates and kind of keep an eye, because we got to remember, man, and he has been here in a while. And I don't think I love Moose, but it wouldn't be a crushing blow because of how he's been booked over this year as a special attraction. The man's money. And if anyone deserves to go to a place like, say, he finally gets a chance with the E or something, man. And this is an Impact guy, Homer, June 19th, 2002, man. Like, come on, man. I respect everything he's done for Impact. So if it is the case, it is the case. But I'm not sounding any alarms. I just want to make that mention.
Whatever happens, if he does leave, hell, even if he stays, just whoever's employing this man, for the love of Christ, we love him to death. Put someone in front of him to talk for him, and just let him.
But he's a
sit
scumbag.
There. Exactly. Let him just sit there and be a scumbag.
Yeah.
And not say shit.
Yeah. The only other note
I get, you, big bro.
Yeah. No. I love Moose, and I agree with everything, man. Don't want to sound alarms. Don't take this out of any other thing. He's still on the Impact roster page. I don't even know when his contract is up. Just saying, let's keep an eye on Moose and appreciate the fact that if he does, he deserves the opportunity. But I thought this match was awesome. Putting over Bully Ray here. The ref in this needs to calm down. I don't know when all these refs got a little so rambunctious that they're okay putting their finger in people's faces, but I would have been okay if Moose slapped the shit out of the ref during the match.
Yeah, for sure.
These refs, man, chill out. But next up was Gia in a Zoom call. Talking with the family here, and the reason this plays into the end, but obviously Frankie's family not present at the show. We'll save that to the end, but I think that's an important, obviously that plays into everything. But next up are our favorite taglines. Oh, shout out, by the way, to New Year's Revolution with the fist. Nice new logo, nice new themed show.
So we stole their pay-per-view and the fist?
Yeah, we stole it all, man. Yeah, we stole.
Fuckers. Revenge.
Good stuff. Taglines, which we love. Tale of the Tape, which we love. All these stuff they're bringing back, which is such just nice little big things, right? They probably would call him Squirrel. Who's that? Oh, with the E, would call Moose. No, he'd call him Moose. I'm not saying he's going there, guys. I'm just.
Bullwinkle.
But yeah, so we get the Knockouts tag titles here, and this was a weird one for me. I got this wrong. I went Tasha and Savannah. Shout out to Nixon who got this right, going Death Dolls. But yeah, the Death Dolls beating Tasha and Savannah here. shout out to the woman ref in there. That's awesome. She's been with us for a couple loops now. Pretty cool there. I love seeing that. But your thoughts, obviously, we can agree taglines is great. Io in there is talking about Mrs. Tanay's taglines. I do as well, man. I miss Mike Tanay. But as far as the match and the results, surprised by it, okay with it. Interesting that Tasha picked up the win, then they beat her up, and then they lose here again. I don't know, kind of a little weird there.
Well, I'm gonna answer your question, and I'm gonna go back. As far as the match, the match was cool. I was fine with. Of course, I picked Tasha Savannah, so of course I'm a little sad they didn't win, but I'm cool with Death Dolls holding the belts, because I guess there's still the element of Jessica that's still growing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that they actually retained the belts just so, we can continue to get that progression a little bit.
Yeah. So
I'm here to see what happens. As far as Tasha Savannah, I would have loved for that to be the thing as well. Another tag team, A, B, strong-ass resume for Bullet Club. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They need someone to hold it down while Bayonets are over in Japan. It's right there. The door was there, but whatever.
You can lead them to water, Lucha.
I'm telling you, give them a straw and a pack of sugar. But to go back, we're talking about like taglines, X Factors, and all that shit.
X Factors, that's the other one, yeah.
Did you notice the one for PJ Black from Impact on Thursday?
No, I didn't.
That was like his first match in Impact that wasn't when he came back to the tournament, that was like his first match that wasn't for a title. But also every match he's had has had some sort of championship stakes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah, that is, because the King of the Mountain, and then
he wasn't a tag champ. That was Brian Myers and Trevor Lee.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, but either way, I love those things there, man. And the fact that they're giving us a little extra like that, it's so simple. It's a graphic. And it just brings back all the nostalgia and makes everything feel more important. I did notice on Masha said did not win any major titles yet. I was like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, so looking back at this, even though I was wrong, of course I want to be right. My predictions, and I love Tasha and Savannah. Taking a step back, the long draw of this, the waiting for what we can get out of this. Is it, Taya breaking off? Is it Rosemary breaking off? Is it Havoc breaking off? There's an element of something.
Where the fuck is Sue?
Where is Sue? So there's things like that. And now also you set up in their first time of not, of getting a shot, viable opponent. They got they didn't look weak. Tasha and Savannah already have been, a thing for almost 2 years now. So it's a brand. They're there, and this match got them in the tag picture. Hopefully, keeps them there for to make more, because we obviously just lost Vex. So, there's this trend. I read all your guys' comments about the KO tags, and I'm going to put that to bed because we talked about it. I just think at this point it's disrespectful. There's a men's world and it's a men's tag. The KOs get 1 and 2. We don't just throw it away because the tag division's been kind of whatever for a little bit of time. At the same time, we've been talking about this about the DMC as well, and I get that there's the same repetitive thing with the KO equation when it comes to it. But we've had teams lose and leave. It just is what it is. But what you can say, and we can't deny, and the optimistic look at this, is that every time someone skedaddles out of here, they come up and they brand a new team and put them as either the challenger or the champion. Is it 4 teams, 5 teams, 6 teams deep? No. But for 88 minutes of television, yet again, we now have at least 2 tag teams who are viable brands.
Because, Jeff, think about this. When they first debuted and won the titles, you were saying the Inspiration were supposed to be the longest reigning tag champions.
Just felt that way, yeah.
But if we would have got that, would we have needed Vexed? Would we have needed the Death Dolls? You know what I'm saying? So I'm
a firm believer that everything
happens.
Yeah, everything happens the way it should. Could it have been different? It could have been, better situation. Yeah, but at the same time, who knows? You don't have to pull Deanna and Chelsea to go do that. Even if maybe they wanted to, but maybe you wouldn't have needed to. Maybe you did. Maybe it would have been even a bigger thing because it's against the. So who knows? But
and also since their re-inception, when the Knockouts tag titles first came back, looking at both, from that time frame, their history up until this point versus the men's tag titles from that same time frame,
yeah,
there's probably a lot of instances where the same shit you say about the Knockouts tag title division, how there's no depth, there's no this,
passes
it needs to be
back and
disbanded.
forth.
Yeah, you could have said the same shit about the men's tag titles, almost more than the women's titles. I'm willing to bet. So it's like, just shut up.
Of course, look,
respectfully.
And I'm one of those firm believers. Look, two wrongs don't make a right. I'm not going to say just because the men's was whatever at one time, whatever. But in this instance, where we're trying to erase a title because it's not, you got to be level playing field here. And they look good. They give depth to the women's division. Look, Deanna just stepped back, and obviously I'm jumping ahead a segment, but we'll do that in just a second. But get to it in just a second. But Deanna stepped back from the tag division into the singles, and it shook everybody, in a good way. Like, it was like, oh, the bitch is back, is what she put on the thing on her Twitter. It's like, okay, cool. Now it just adds more. It adds more depth in a different way to the Knockouts division. But first, we get the Bullet Club Motor City talking about. I already alluded to that, talking about New Japan, how they're going to the best of Junior Tag or BO? Super Juniors.
Tag League.
Yeah, I'm bad with the names.
Something. Yeah.
But they're headed out. And 3 out of 4 winners, it looks like, or whatever it was this past month. So, except the Juice loss as well, right? Was that the only loss?
Yeah.
And Motor City. So I guess there's a couple. But still big wins in there. So they look healthy on the way out. They get to do that. Who knows what happens in this tournament? Maybe they show out. But either way, I love that they did this segment, and then the major players stick their nose in and say they're going to win. And then right after that was the last rodeo. Penzer, man. The fact that Penzer needs a piece of paper to remember that this is Mickey's last rodeo, and Jesus, man.
Okay,
give me some drama.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. Do you think there's actually he actually has what he needs to say on the papers, or do you think he's just living up the gimmick?
I would rather he write a paragraph on there than live up a gimmick, because he literally had to look at Jordan's to know she was from wherever she was from, and then didn't say where. I don't know. I don't know. She didn't even say where Masha lived. He didn't even say it was for the Knockouts World Title. He said it was for the last. Man. They will be the last woman standing, and that's what he said. So Penzer, man, love you, but God.
Put Crazy Steve in that spot.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, man, Crazy Steve, man. We'll get to him in a second, but regardless, love Penzer, WCW mark. So of course I don't mean anything, but still. But Mickie James here, successful in what I thought. I'll say top 2 because Giselle's is hard to beat. Her versus Giselle was pretty legit. I know you like Chelsea's as well, but this was a damn good match. And for someone, man, when Taylor came back the first time, I was like, oh, it's Taylor Wilde. I wasn't getting the hype. I'm gonna be real. And being a TNA guy from the get, it was, I think at the time for her, it was more of a lot of factors. One was the booking for sure. They gave her that all-American girl gimmick when we all knew she was Canadian.
Right.
That they gave her. They were trying to put her into a bot. It just didn't work. It felt, and the talent was kind of. And I'm sure if I go back and watch those matches, I'll be like, oh man, I slept on her because of all this other stupid shit. The sunglass thing that everyone was making a big deal out of and laughing at us for. All the stupid shit that doesn't matter now that we're 20 years later. And just to appreciate her work and this run she's getting for the last 2 times, and especially this one, because I think this one's going to be special, man. The way she moves in that ring is phenomenal. And if they develop, which I don't think they ever gave her a fair shake, they develop her character like the witch or whatever they're going to do, no matter which direction they do. I loved it, man. Her facials in this were second to none. She sold the fact, like, look, like, I'm going to turn it on now because I feel like you're disrespecting me. There was just so much storytelling in this match. And kudos to Taylor Wilde, who I don't think gets enough credit, including for myself.
For sure. Like the last time she came back during the pandemic, like, you know, I wasn't like yay, but I wasn't like boo. I was just like, all right, let's see what you got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember we remember Taylor. We know how Taylor gets down, but it's just like, you know, like we said, the booking, how we do it. But her booking the first time around back was a little question marky because I don't even remember what the hell she did while she was there. Yeah, she was just there, and I hated her theme song so much.
She would sing her theme song. It's okay.
I mean, it's not that she sang it, it's just
I know
it was
all of it.
Yeah,
I got you.
You could have clipped it a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but yeah, this time around she's been cool, and then I don't remember everything she said from the Busted Open interview, but I do know Friday morning she was on Busted Open talking with Thunder Rosa and Dave LaGreca about, you know, her career, her time away, and her match with Mickey, you know what I'm saying? And it just listening to her on Busted Open and then turning around and watching the match is like, that was kind of like a two-parter story. A little bit. It's like they kind of connected together. So it's like,
I'll have to peep that out. I didn't get to hear that, man. But you know, look, I'm glad to be to get this. I don't want to say surprised because that sounds whatever, but it's nice to be surprised by what a flower can look like when you water it. That's the way we'll put it. Because I mean, once again, talent's there. And it's just right now, it's the perfect storm for her to really show out, man. So I'm happy for her, and she deserves credit. And Mickie James looked great as well. There was one moment in the match where I was like, oh, someone told her it was time to go home because it just was like right after a knee strike. There was like they just turned it on. But great match, man. We mentioned it. Deonna comes out there. Now we have Deonna versus Mickie, which, I mean, come on. So just good shit here. And I'm checking you guys out once again. I was going to say bloodline. The lifeline. The blood of this show. The bloodline of the show.
The blood lifeline.
Blood lifeline. The lifeline of the show. The chat,
line.
man. You guys are lighting up. Thank you, Io, Millard. Impact Slam Zone, Millard. A bunch of you guys talking about Penzer in here. Christy
just bring Christy back.
Christy needs to give Penzer some pointers. Penzer getting old. Can't remember. Oh, man. There's a nostalgia. His voice. Don't get me wrong, but just type him some stuff. Type him some lyrics. Look. You know, Diddy doesn't write his own shit.
I wonder how long before Sarita comes back and tags with Taylor and goes after the tag titles.
Interesting.
I would be down with that. I would be down with it. And Sarita's available now, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's been for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe she can, you know, be like the dark Spanish witch, and then you got the Canadian witch, and then what they need to do is just make the craft like.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
Movie, yeah, just have that as a stable.
That's cool.
Those two, Savannah Evans and Taya. Fuck it.
That's it. Just grab it.
That's the craft Impact version. Book it.
I'll watch it. Either way, man, I think just they could do so much with that, and I don't know if that means another, you know, world run for her or close to that. But even the tags, man, the adding of character and depth to each character and depth in general does not hurt this division by any means. And once again, we're talking about a show with no Killer Kelly. So we're good.
Right. Because I mean, it wasn't X-rated this week. You know,
it wasn't. As she goes by there,
to grab lotion and wash this.
Jesus.
Because I'm ashy, Jeff.
Right. We all,
you don't deal with that.
Yeah, we all get it.
As a darker skinned male, right. I have ashiness that I deal with from time to time. So I would need to have lotion.
Hey, I live in the snow. We all ash, just different ways.
Yeah. 40 degrees today.
Speaking of ashy, Bully Ray is next up. He's with Gia, and Bully's playing the part, man. What a. He's fishing that line. He's playing the part. He's going to sit in the back. He's going to relax. He's going to rest up because he's feeling it from the Moose match. He just wants to see what's going on. And hook, line, and sinker. That's what he goes and does, man. Next up, though, we get our X factors. There's gonna be a couple things throughout the next that I mentioned of Tom Hannafan, because look, Tom Hannafan to me is a top 3 announcer in Impact history already. The amount of stuff he works in there to make each match and each character, each person feel important is phenomenal. The stats, even the one, obviously, there's things during the matches he pulls out from TNA history that's just like, for me, is just like a goodie bag that someone, I'm just a mark. I'm a mark for that dude. And he slipped into "You've Got to Be Kidding Me" in this match. Take the cake, top 3. So here we get Crazy Steve, as you, Lucha Man, announcing at the beginning. You finally get to see it, because you didn't remember I told you about this. I was so stoked about this, man. Oh, wait, you would have got to see it on Impact as well. So this week there was a thing.
I missed the Impact one, but I saw the Overdrive.
Okay. So Crazy Steve announces him out here. They're giving Tom talking about maybe Steve taking the reins of Decay leader for now, starting to get everyone in line. And I thought this was Black Taurus's moment. I was wrong. I put Tarus here. You put Trey. Nixon put Trey as well. Shout out to you guys for getting that right. But damn, did they do it in a different way?
Yeah, I picked Trey, but not like this.
The momentum was in Tarus's favor. We can all agree on that. They give him the match before the pay-per-view. They got Crazy Steve hyping his ass up. He's got a Tron. They're doing spray paint to the face.
It's like, Trey,
or to the eyes. Oh man, what a damn swerve. What a genius booking moment here. If you were, look, wrestling shows are long. If there was any point where you're doing what Lucha's doing now and yawning during it, this would have woke your ass up. I don't think that was the case. I'm just saying this is one of those moments I was like, oh shit, Impact's they're not just going through matches. This isn't just an Impact Plus, oh, we're going to put out some good matches and hope it. This was story.
Stories today.
The smiling of Trey, the evolution of Trey. I know people want him to elevate himself. I just still thought there was tag in the line, so I thought he was going to lose this, and Tarus was on too big of a momentum to lose, but they put over Tarus in the process, and the only way, and I love Trey, that Trey wins this match, it's because of that spray paint. So good shit there, man. Good shit.
That part is debatable, but between
within this match, I don't mean
yeah. But between that and then his promo that he cut after that came out on social media is like, I'm tired. I don't have to pretend that y'all are close to me and all this nonsense. Like, I'm way better than y'all. And I'm just like, damn, Trey, stop smoking again.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Trey.
Man, if you stop smoking, you start spray painting motherfuckers. that get back on the tree. But at the same time, he's got the gold around his waist, man. And this is just something we haven't seen from Trey yet. And I'm for it. And I wanted Tarus. If you told me Trey would have won, would I have been disappointed without watching, the results and how we got there? I would say no. I still love Trey. But at the same time, it was a damn good way to ease any pain anyone would have had if Black Tarus, didn't win.
For sure.
And it still made Tarus look insanely good.
Strong as shit.
Trey
had to turn heel and spray paint him in the face to beat him.
Right.
That you don't just go into the match thinking, yeah, I'm gonna spray him in the face. You know what I'm saying? So he had to do that.
Yeah. Very coordinated, by the way, Trey, with his spray paint to the eyes. Not so much as an entrance. How many times has he been spraying TM? Bro, how many times are you spraying TM? And you can't do that. Jesus. It's right in front. Oh, man. But anyway, good shit here. Love the homie Trey, man. This is going to be good stuff. But we move on. And next up, we're talking family here, right? They're setting up, what was it, with Josh and Jen here, right? Is that what was next up? I just have family, so... but after that is the tail, or no, yeah, it's the tail of the tape, and it's Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovic.
Ugh.
And I got this right. Bert got this right, Datila, and Craig. And now, no, that's more than I thought. But the I would understood, even though I put that, of why Masha could win here. I get it. You don't want to whatever. But before well, actually, you know what? Why don't you tell me your point of view, and then we'll see if we actually align. We'll see. Maybe we do.
Yes, because see, I was at the point of, like you were about to say, you not gonna have Masha take 2 L's, back to back in this manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's bound to get one, especially in like a violent type match like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just saw either that or maybe a double nobody standing.
Yeah.
Something like that, something that keeps it the way, we need the once and for all. So it was either that or Masha won, because there was no way you were gonna let Masha lose twice back to back like that.
Yeah.
But seeing it happen, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Cause Jordan's on a fucking run, dog.
A run is I don't even know if we could come up with another term for it, but run is an understatement.
Sprint. We're sprinting.
Yeah, we'll think so. Yeah.
I mean, Jordan's just flying.
She's getting ready.
She's mastered instantaneous transmission.
There you go. Yeah.
Like,
next level.
We gotta have another knockout main event for Hard to Kill. That always seems to be like the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure there's been a woman in just about every Hard to Kill main event, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Is this the third? Or fourth? Is this the third or fourth Hard to Kill?
This would be the fourth. But I just don't see Josh and Bully getting pushed down to number 2.
Yeah, true. But
I understand what you're saying. Now, you could have told me that Jordan and Masha main evented this. Not obviously they wanted to go somewhere with the story, so obviously Josh made sense for the main event here and Kazarian's story as well. Sure. But if you told me Jordan and Masha main evented this, it would not have hurt my feelings. And I know that's a weird way of saying it, but my point is these world title matches to me are just as equivalent, just as important. Now maybe
I think the only Hard to Kill that wasn't didn't have a woman in the main event was the 6-man tag with Kenny and the Good Brothers.
Right. Okay.
Versus Moose, Rich, and Sabin, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, they represented Impact. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, they've all.
We'll see. I think this might be the one that breaks it, though, man. Especially.
But that's half of the Hard to Kills having a woman in the main event. That's still a great number. Still a great number.
And it sets Impact apart for sure, man. And another reason that if I'm a woman wrestler looking out there and I say, here's the landscape, I just don't know how you don't trust Impact with what you're trying to get through in life, or where you're trying to get in the business. Now, granted, yes, I get all the other reasons, but I'm just saying, like, how do you watch this and not want to be part of it? And look, with Masha, I was in the same place. That's where my debate was like, they brought her back. We said we thought the loss would mean more than a victory at Bound for Glory. I think it did, because all we knew about her prior to her loss was that she wins. She's Russian. She wins. That's it, right? She destroys. She kills. Okay.
But
she lost. She kill? Right. But then she hits a brick wall, a movable object, and it's Jordynne Grace. So she's back to square one. She cleanses her palate. She goes away. She adds a layer. We get to see her talk. Granted, it's in Russian, which I dig. We get a hardcore match out of her, which we haven't had besides the one with Alley Cat. So we get to see that side of her. And she still loses. She's throwing her best at Jordynne and still losing. Third time's the charm, man. When they meet up next, and this is why I'm okay with it, because they're using her losses to add layers. It's not just a crimson. I know someone made that comparison before, where the battle or the streak defined Masha, which it did. But then you take that away. That's where booking comes into play, and that's where you say you have a this person or that, and we have a Masha, not a crimson, because they gave her that next layer. She's not just going to go away, but she's going to recalculate. Now I'm scared to see what happens here in this next one, because this is where I think she has to turn it on more. If they don't turn it on here, and it's just she's back and she's wrestling Joe Schmo on BTI, we'll talk about it. But I just think they're building they're using the loss for someone who obviously isn't a communicator when it comes to storylines. This is how they're going to build her.
So what's the next possible match? Fucking AK-47 on a pole match, and you only win, because like they.
No, I think First Blood. I think you go if it's the evolution of evolution of Masha is now she has blood on her jacket. She's getting more into that. She's getting darker and darker. We want her to be violence. I don't know if it's VBD, but Full Metal Mayhem. There's another one.
What if we could stretch this? I mean, we couldn't either.
Oh, I don't think it's hard to kill.
Stretch it.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to kill.
Okay, so then good. That works perfectly then. If we can make this last until lockdown, and we can get a Doomsday Chamber of Blood match.
There you go. Barbed Wire Massacre, something. That is a first for the knockouts, is what I think we get. And I think the end result is Masha standing over Jordan. Now, that's on booking now to give us whatever from point A, point C now, to point D. We'll see how we get there, but I'm okay with the losses.
We got enough. Got enough.
Yeah, I'm okay with the losses. As long as it ends up meaning something. And right now, and I didn't a couple months ago, but right now I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt to deliver because they're delivering on a lot of other shit. But
honestly,
yeah.
I would now that she's lost again, I would keep her in the shadows for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yep.
And then honestly, start of 2023, post Hard to Kill, start the streak over. We do it over so then we can lead up to, and then she's on her streak. Not only is she beating these women, she's beating them and making them bleed.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. And of course I want, obviously I keep pushing VBD. Millard in there saying James Mitchell. I think a talking person is important for her. I mentioned that a lot. Same with Black Truth's Crazy Steve. That's, adding that other layer, that next, making them not one dimensional. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way. But sometimes when you can only deliver what you can do between bell to bell, that doesn't make you a viable champion. You need more. You need layers. You need to be able to communicate verbally. You need to be, storyline wise, and she's putting it all together. And when they're done with Masha, if it's what we believe it to be, and you have a locker room that's with Deanna staying, Deanna, Masha, and Jordan.
Killer Kelly.
I mean, there's a lot more, but I'm just saying that's three of your top. I mean, come on, man. That's insane. But yeah, what a phenomenal one. The things I do want to mention have nothing to do with anything besides more Hannah fan stuff. Names for moves, first of all. Moscow Sunrise is what they're calling her Canadian Powder or whatever she did. Verta Breaker, which is obviously Sugar Shane Helms reference, of course. Also known as the Gringo Killer, which we love, from Homicide. The one move that they did not get, and I wanted to mention, because of course they listen, of course, is that Moss covered 3-handle family credenza. They didn't say it when they hit it. They said it's a swinging neck breaker of some sort, and they went back and forth. Oh no, it's more like a fisherman buster. That's the name of it. Moss covered 3-handle family credenza. Anyways.
And this was during what?
Masha hit it on Jordan.
On Overdrive? I want to go back and watch that. Yeah, I didn't hear that whole exchange.
It was pretty early.
Was I tripping, or did they call Jordan's Muscle Buster like the Juggernaut Muscle Buster or something like that?
They called it something like that when she put her through and I don't know if that was a something they're adding to it, or it was just because she did it from the steps to the the door or whatever. So I didn't know if it was it was in that. Altogether though, man. Also, it doesn't hurt Masha whatsoever that she's losing to Jordan. I know you already stressed it, but
yeah, for sure,
it's Jordan. Completely different level.
Brian Cage let me down when I asked him to do this, so maybe I'll get Jordan to do it. I really need her to just yell, "Oh, it's the Juggernaut, bitch," in a promo or something.
Oh yeah, just
so I can pop and explode into confetti.
It'll happen.
It's I need it. I hope someone steps up to Jordan and Jordan's like, "You know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." Yeah.
It'll be a moment. And it's all shirts. And it could also. So
I'm buying 12.
Oh man, what do we got? Impact Slam talking in there, man. I have an insane match idea. How about Impact do a first ever Steel Cage Ultimate X? Holy shit! Trying to break the. Right. Question is, when do we get locked down, man?
Fuck it, why not? Jordan Grace talking about she wants a Ultimate X Queen of the Mountain match. Like, let's do it. Let's go.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
2022. We're about to hit 2023. Let's go for it.
What more can we do? You know what I'm saying? Ultimate X First Blood match. You can't climb for the X until you've been busted open. What?
Somewhere Bret Hart is rolling his eyes and spitting on this television set.
He's a really good booker. He's got a really good booking
got arrested the traditional.
I doubt he'll book Bill Goldberg on one of his shows.
Bill Goldberg, world class liars. Anyways, Matt and Tom. Speaking of everything, what else can we do? IPWF, as we already mentioned, they do a little ad for that. And put the camera on someone's feet for a bit. But we do that, and then we get to Hard to Kill, Friday the 13th, January Friday the 13th.
I'm going, by the way.
Are you really?
Yeah, sir.
That's awesome. Good for you, buddy. Enjoy, man.
I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I'm going.
Hey.
So it's Christmas time. Y'all leave me alone.
The first step is saying, putting into existence. So,
manifesting.
But next, man, manifesting your goals. And Kaz did that here, man. They made us think. They put some nostalgia on that. They put, the family in that. They put some good moments with the tease with the belt in this. I know I'm jumping a little bit. But damn good performance by Kaz, man. When I saw the friggin' time before the Jordan match, what was left, I was like, how the hell are they going to fill all this time? And the way they filled it, was by filming two insanely amazing world title matches and giving them the time to tell good stories within the match. I already said about the Trey one, but they obviously told a story not only in the match, but obviously at the ending there. These told amazing stories throughout the match from beginning to end. And I was hooked for both of them. And this main event, for something that I know everyone was, whatever, how we got there. I don't know when you watch that how you could be anything but just pleased. Other than pleased. And Kaz versus Josh Alexander definitely did not disappoint. Let's stick with that first. Let's stay there before we get to the craziness. Josh picking up the win in almost 40-minute match here.
Which blew my mind. I didn't know it was that long.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
When I think it was Hanifan, he said it, I'm like,
near 40 minutes.
Near 40 minutes?
And Jordan and Masha wasn't any sloucher either. I don't have the numbers on that, but they put in some work here, man. And it was amazing match. The one thing I will say, this goes to the tail of the tape. Josh 240 and Kazarian's 210. You believe in that shit?
Josh more so Frankie.
No, I'm just saying, if Josh is 240, how is Kaz 210? They're too comparable. I don't know.
Because I don't know. Josh got more. All right. I don't know. Man.
Look at it, man. Look at it. Anyways, they're both the same height. I thought that was interesting. Anyway, other than that, though, your thoughts on what actually matters, the match as a whole, the amazing telling between it. He picks up the belt. He listens to the wife, to Jen, to Josh's wife, sees the kid. He has that, oh, man, I didn't even bring my family because I didn't want them to be part of this shit. Oh, man, I love kids, and I'm a family. Not only is that great foreshadowing, it's beautiful storytelling within this and who Frankie Kazarian has been portrayed as since he walked back into Impact. And who he has always been. But with Tracy by his side helps a lot, too, and tell that narrative, man. But good shit here, Rebel as well. Just good stuff here. Your thoughts?
It was beautiful. That moment had to happen in the match because there was a point to where I'm like, I don't even think Josh is going to win this. Like, I really think, dog, there was a point to where Frankie kind of had me shook a little bit. Like, he's really going to do it, and I guess that's a testament to how good they told the story of Frankie's trying to get the title in this match. If a match hits a point to where I don't care who wins, that's how I know It's a good one, and we'll be good. I was like, fuck, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Um, but Frankie probably should have been like, you know what, you're not my wife. I don't have to listen to you, and crack Josh over the head with the belt anyway. And as Josh sits there and starts bleeding in front of Jet, and let's traumatize the kid. Let's traumatize. Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful,
But
man.
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I ain't even gonna say it wasn't, but that was just my.
Oh
own
no,
personal
I think we're on the
sick,
same page. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But-
look, I mean, once again, I just think they did a great job of getting the most out of Frankie's run here. No matter what you feel about it, they did. And you see who he's facing right after of this. It's Macklin. I doubt he's going to beat Macklin. Okay, I don't want to jinx it. But so we're looking at a guy who everyone's like, oh, he's coming in here, he's going to win the whatever. Rightfully so, whatever. I made a case for his last time. He did lose to Saban cleanly last time. But this run, yes, he won the X belt. Yes, he's picked up some wins, but now he's jobbing to Josh, jobbing to Macklin on the way out. So he's doing the right thing, man. And if anything, if this match, this main event, and then more importantly, using Frankie, because you can't really tell this story with anyone else other than Frankie and eventually Bully. If you're going to do that, you need someone who is known to have a obviously family ties in with Tracy and Scott and a perfect storm of stuff. And if you told me they went and they wrote this from Bound for Glory on, and this was the intent from the moment, from the get, I'd believe you. Because you don't
honestly think so.
Yeah, you don't fall into two families and this, and then one guy who does care and he's a good man and it decides the main event of a plus special, and then another guy who comes out and gives zero shits about your family and anyone else's anything else, and pushes that envelope to push the next pay-per-view special for the world title. Phenomenal shit. Amazing storytelling. And this is stuff that makes you, even though we might have been questioning it for a while, and rightfully so, this is booking of the year kind of shit. Booker of the year stuff. I mean, they're going back to making every segment matter and every match tell a different story, no matter what. If we like it or not, it does lead to where it needs to go. And it's crazy, man. I didn't think I'd be saying this. I try to be the forever optimist, but they're making it really easy right now.
Yeah, for sure. That's really all I got until we go post match. Oh wait, no.
Well, let's go post match. Let's get right into it.
Before we do go post match, though,
Yeah.
I just want to give. I should have put this at number 1 on my power rankings, but specifically Josh Alexander's C4 spike to Frankie. That specific C4 spike was ruthless.
Yeah.
And I'm as a pile driver enthusiast with my guy on 2K. It's pile drivers.
Yeah.
I love the C4 spike, and I love that C4 spike.
Yeah, it was good shit. Jay Drilla. What was Kid Cash's version called? Moneymaker? Moneymaker.
Think so.
I love it, man. Love it. Great match. Don't want to, blow over that whatsoever. I hope we put it over enough, because go back and watch this, guys. I mean,
I plan on it.
It was a great match. 40 minutes, but it flew by, and it told a story at the same time, and it took its time. It was great. And once again, there's no shame in setting up the next thing with your main event, and that's what they did. And beautifully, because right after this, we get the handshake. We get, okay, all right, where are we going to? Yeah, we're cool. Respect. Bully comes out. And Bully, dude, the way they played this, every moment of this was, they had us in the palm of their hand. Specifically Bully. Because not only does he play, obviously, I'm the good guy. Hey, look, I'm going to call it right to your face. Do it right way, which he did. He was a man of his word. But don't mean he's not a scumbag. And he pulled it, man. What a great ending to a pay-per-view. The way he was demanding Josh to do things, not to do things, to stay in a certain spot. Questioning him, do you love your family? Hand me the belt. With his wife between his crotch, literally. I mean, this Bully has Josh in the palm of his hands, and he had us as well. What a phenomenal way to end a show and to hype the next pay-per-view. Phenomenal.
The whole time that whole thing with Bully was happening. Okay, so let me go back. Him, cashing in. My man didn't lie. My man didn't say anything wrong. He said he's gonna come out, look Josh in the eye, and tell him he's gonna call his shot and shake his hand. And that is exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he did terrible things, yes.
Yeah.
Afterwards. He did do terrible things. But we can't sit here and say same old Bully, because same old Bully would have said all this and lied and did it anyway.
Right.
This is old what's the word? Cerebral Bully Ray. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
so
we can't call him out. We don't know if he lied about Bullet Club. Let's make that clear. We don't know if he goes back and backtracks and says he is the one that attacked Ace. We don't know. I hope not, because I do like the idea of him just being, I'm a man of my word. I was a man of my word.
I would imagine he wasn't lying about Bullet Club, because, what? Bullet Club ain't had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
Bullet Club ain't have shit to do with him.
That's fair.
The only thing he was there for was Josh and the world title. So it wasn't about, he didn't care anybody else. That could have been, because, if you remember the great reveal of the whole Aces and Eights thing, there were a lot of things that happened during the whole setup that was a matter of circumstance.
Right.
Like it wasn't supposed to, that wasn't a part of the plan. They just, Bully was like, well, shit, that was there, so I would be stupid to not use it as a part of my plan.
Right.
So,
yeah,
man ain't saying nothing wrong.
No, he
just very demented
in the greatest way imaginable.
Oh my God, loved it.
We've wanted someone to say, "I wake up and I obsess about that world title. I want to take it from your hands, Josh, and rip it. I don't care if you're alive. I don't care if you're dead. I want to take that." And that's Bully. Granted, did we think it was going to be him that we had to get to him to get there? No, because I think Macklin still will be that person for Josh on the regular. But as far as now, to set the tone and to change the game, who would have thought it'd be Bully Ray? And honestly, it is a damn... I don't want to say it's a damn pleasure, but it's a damn pleasure to have this dude on our TV each week. I really believe that, man. Because
we wouldn't have gotten this type of like we would have been, hype for Josh versus Macklin. Macklin won Call Your Shot, but we wouldn't have got this level of emotion and reaction and shock value out of Macklin,
Because think about this, dude.
It was necessary.
It was necessary. It was a necessary evil. And at the same time, you're right, man. If Macklin just won it and did the thing and he has a little thing and I'm whatever, okay, that's cool and it stays within Impact and we all like it or whatever. But not only have Macklin in the meantime get boosted and be, messing around with all former champions and picking up dubs with big people, and it looks to be picking up another dub with Frankie at this taping, hopefully, is you're building him on the side while we're putting a giant-ass spotlight, not only on Busted Open Radio, but with the numbers. Go look at the YouTube channel. It still pulls, man. That segment pulled numbers. And Bully still does. He has the nostalgia tied. People love TNA, no matter if you want to shit on it or not. It helps sell the product of past and the present, because I don't think there's someone that has faced Josh where the world title has meant this much.
Exactly. There hasn't been any meat. This is the most meat that there's been on any Josh Alexander world title match since Moose.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's no taken away from... There's been some good feuds. There's been some good matches. Yeah. Not good, great matches. Eddie, Shelley, they're there. It's not like he's been sleeping as the world champion. Same time, the focus wasn't there. And it's hard when you have a face champion. But I'm not going to make any excuses for him, because you created a face champion. So we knew what we're getting into. Same time, how do you make Josh, without turning him heel, more interesting? It's not making Josh more interesting. It's making his opponent do shit that makes Josh have to do whatever the opponent wants to get. It's just great stuff, man. It's great stuff. And even if it does not lead to our Team Canada, Lucha, this is some good shit.
Oh, for sure.
So it goes back to the question we accidentally aired, but then stopped streaming, then aired back because we're going to ask it right now. Sometimes what we want isn't always the right thing.
Yeah, like, everybody in the chat, I'm just going to throw it to y'all to get some engagement going on in here. What makes a good show? Is it if they do everything that you like fantasy book? Everything that you and your friends say, this is what they should do. And if they do all that, does that make the show good?
Sure.
Or is the show good because what they presented to us, they told the story coherent enough to where we're understanding and we're like, I want to see where we go next? Or do you want that you just want your finger on the button? Oh, I don't like that this guy won 3 weeks ago, but you forget that guy winning 3 weeks ago is a catalyst for everything that we're got to go through.
Yeah.
And it's like, because the Bobby Fish random title match didn't make sense at the time, but now that we got a fucking pissed off Steve Macklin going around, it's like everyone's getting title shots. Fucking Bobby Fish came in here and asked for a title shot and got one. So now that helps, Macklin's case. You gotta let the flower grow. You don't put the seed in the ground, water it, and shine a flashlight on it for 5 minutes, and you get a whole tomato plant. Like, bro, just let it grow. Clip the shit, and it could be good.
Yeah, it's now. Could that moment with the Bobby Fish thing, and we put it in the crock pot, and we just made chicken salad out of chicken shit? Possible. But I just don't. I think there's too many coincidences throughout since Bound for Glory to get where we're at right this moment after Overdrive. We just couldn't have got here with, oh yeah, this all worked out. I just don't see it, man. And kudos to them for playing with us, for serving us with Trey in this X Division tournament, for making the things that we were nervous out better. Now there's some things we still got to keep out, and there's some things that are going to get better, or not better, but get more developed and grow with Macklin and Josh and all these different feuds. And Lucha's right. We have to think and say, if it doesn't happen the way we want it to, is it still good? And I think Overdrive answered that, because that was a damn good show doing what Impact wants to present. Now, there's definitely some things we need to, whatever, but I thought this was a damn good show. If not an A, I still give it the highest B pluses. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to give it in the A's, because even though I'm trying to be more reserved with that, they always give us top to bottom card, generally above average matches on these shows. But this one not only gave us that and then more, it also gave us storyline growth, which was almost as entertaining and almost as a talking point as the great matches that we watched. So I'll give it in the A realm.
So I'm going to ask you this question, considering this is the last one that we're getting for the year, far as live.
Yeah.
Wow. Plus show of the year.
Ooh, that might have to be our cliffhanger, sir. Because I want to do my due diligence and look at this, because I know there's some other ones, but it's hard for someone like me who prides themselves, a writer, or creative, whatever, to be handed everything they handed us last night and not say it gave us something more, because there was there was multiple matches that developed storylines that we didn't have going into Overdrive, and then developed some for afters. I don't know, man. You got me. It's possible. Let us hear it in the chat, man. But yeah, I think we can all agree it was a damn good show. If you watched it beginning to end, you wouldn't have been disappointed. I want to shout out everyone, because I know we're hitting that point before we get to it. I want to. Oh, you know what we didn't? We did do our lockdown. We didn't do our OVE versus VBD lockdown reveal. We'll save that for next week. This was obviously we had a lot to talk about with the review and such. So, and obviously we didn't do. What's up?
I mean, You always talk about, you say you don't want to go longer than the show, but like, bro, we got an Impact and a Plus special. We could stay on this mug until 2 in the morning.
and as fun as that would be, as fun as that would be, you know, life.
Work.
Yeah, work, life, snow coming down in insane amounts. I gotta, well, no, I don't have to shovel, but
You gotta go
knock on wood.
make snow angels.
Treehouse and Snow Angels.
Damn right.
Snow Angels. But yeah, you know, we obviously do hot topics. We'll get to the 5-on-5 next week. If you guys didn't catch the cliffhanger from last week, it was VBD versus OVE. If you had to do a 5-on-5, including one knockout at least in each team, what would it be for a lockdown match, lethal lockdown? And we're gonna Lucha left you with something there as far as, is this the best plus special of the year? Let us know. So we'll have those two cliffhangers next week, but I want to thank everyone who contributes, no matter if it's Twitter or commenting on YouTube, to what we talk about or the points we try to make throughout the show. Obviously changing it up, guys. There's going to be some changes, but some exciting ones and some fun stuff ahead. But Chris Zaletta, obviously always thank you, man. Norris Sparks, Quinn Shines, Hakeem, thank you for the comments, buddy. Best Side 92, Doll 99, Jamie Stay Ready, and everyone else, and including the Power Rankings committee, guys. Great top 10. Love seeing the tie at 10. Black Truce making it makes me happy. There was a lot of stuff on there. Yeah, guys, catch out all the shows, or check out all our shows, including obviously Tuesday will be next. It's a double whammy. It's Go Power Rankings, Bert and Datila. Show some love to the memory of the Green Ranger. And then after that, catch LOL TNAIW, where we light it back up in the treehouse for IPWF review. Lucha, why don't you send us off?
You know, everybody knows the script. Shout out Diamond Villains. Shout out Mike G. Shout out Impact Wrestling. I'm going to even throw this extra one in there because I just love saying it, and I just want Craig to know that I love him. Shout out to the MIC. You know, you can catch him here. You can catch him there. You can catch him any goddamn way.
Oh, I miss it. Oh, that's fun.
so
But you could
much.
catch it every Thursday as Luchas.
You can catch it anywhere on TBN. You know what I'm saying? You can catch the squad. And you know, it sucks. R.I.P. Jason David Frank. We actually the other day we kind of drafted ourselves as like who's what Power Ranger, and I'm pretty sure I said dibs on White Ranger. So it's like
Best.
But
my favorite, man. My favorite. Shout
check
out
out the monkeys.
Yeah, loved it, Tommy. Loved it, all the guys on the TNAIW channel. And to you guys, thank you so much. As we always said, we appreciate you watching, you viewing, you commenting, the bloodline, whatever the hell you guys want to call yourself, chat line.
The Blood Lifeline.
Blood Life, whatever. The chat group, we love you guys. Thank you. Hit subscribe, hit like, all that jazz to everyone else watching out there. Make sure you watch Impact this week. Some great matches going across the Tron right there, as you can see now, including Heath Rhino, Motor City Machine Guns, Savannah versus Taya, Bully versus Rich, Bully versus Rich, and Macklin versus Kaz. So a lot of matches coming out. Check out for that. Check out with us. Yeah, man. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking out. God bless. Good night.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, woo.